Hey, Dwight Blackburn again, and I got another modification I wanted to show you on these trucks from Titan Trains. And I know you guys have seen these little caps. These caps fall off, and you've seen them on the side of the track. See these little caps that are laying on the side of the track, and I have a bunch of them that I've taken off. I've taken off a bunch of them here. I found a lot of them, and well as taken them off of mine. So I took them off all of my trucks that look like this, and you know how they roll along, and there's this cap on the end of each axle. So I take those off and I make it look like this. I have a nut on the end of it, and what I do is I take one of these nuts like this. I got these from McMaster Car. They're called a 7/16 by 20, and it's a thin gem nut. They said it's a fin here, but it's a thin gem nut made in Taiwan. So what I do is I drill these out and I drill them out and put to a 1/2 inch fine thread, and that's what goes on this end of this right here. So let me show you how this works. I've already taken the springs out. This nut holds the bearing in place, and it's threaded on. I put a little drop of blue or red Loctite on that, screw that on there, and that holds your bearing in place inside the side frame. So if you want to get rid of these caps, they're just made out of lead, and some, I don't know what, they got a little bit of something in them, but you just heat them with a torch for about 5 to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can turn them and unscrew them, and that way you don't have to fight with those, losing these little caps all over the place, and they're a real pain. But they've got to be on there in order to hold this bearing in place on the end of that axle. So if they're not there, this bearing gets hot. It gets warm while it's going down the track, hauling the passengers like we do, and then it'll move on that axle because the Loctite that's holding it in place gets warm, and then so therefore the Loctite will move. So this is a little short tip. I hope it helps and you understand what I'm talking about.